Ladies and gentlemen, let me talk to you about something real. We all want to win. We all want to build something, a career, a family, a dream, but sometimes we lose sight of the how. We chase the end goal so hard that we forget the foundation. So let's break it down. Step one, build with purpose. You can't build anything worth having if you don't know why you're building it. Your why is the cornerstone. It's what keeps you going when the work gets hard, when the hours get long, and when the doubters show up. You don't just stumble into greatness. Greatness comes from intention. Ask yourself, why am I doing this? Not for the applause, not for the recognition, not for the money. Those things are nice, sure, but they're temporary. Build for something deeper. Build for something that'll last. Step two, win by showing up. Winning isn't always about being the best. Sometimes it's about being the one who didn't quit. There will be days when you're tired, when the people around you don't believe in your vision, when the results don't come as fast as you want them to. But hear me when I say this, keep showing up. The race isn't given to the swift, but to the one who endures. And endurance, that comes from showing up, even when you don't feel like it, even when it's hard, even when you're the only one clapping for yourself. Step three, stop caring, but not about everything. Here's where the mind changes. Somewhere along the way, you've got to stop caring not about the work, not about the vision, but about the noise. Stop caring about what they think of you. Stop caring about whether everyone understands your journey. Stop caring about perfection, because perfection is the enemy of progress. When you stop caring about the wrong things, something powerful happens. You free yourself. You let go of the fear, the doubt, the need for approval. And when you let go of those chains, your mind shifts. You start thinking bigger, acting bolder, moving faster. Here's why this works. When you build with purpose, you're not just creating something externally, you're building you. When you win by showing up, you're proving to yourself that you've got what it takes. And when you stop caring about the noise, you step into your power. Because the truth is, the world doesn't reward people who try to please everyone. It rewards people who dare to be themselves. So my friends, build with purpose. Win by showing up. Stop caring about the things that don't matter and watch how your life transforms. Building with purpose means aligning every step of your journey with a clear and meaningful reason. It's not about just going through the motions or doing what others expect of you. It's about having a clear sense of why you're doing what you're doing and letting that guide your every decision. Purpose is the foundation upon which anything lasting is built, and without it, even the grandest structures are hollow and unstable. Think of it this way. When a builder sets out to construct a house, they don't start by randomly stacking bricks. They begin with a blueprint. They lay a solid foundation, knowing that everything else depends on that base. Your purpose is that foundation. It's the blueprint for everything you want to create in your life. When you have a purpose, you wake up differently. The alarm clock doesn't feel like an enemy. It feels like a call to action. Every task, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, becomes a piece of the puzzle. You understand that building something meaningful requires patience and persistence, and that nothing worth having comes without effort. Purpose transforms the mundane into the meaningful. It gives context to the grind and clarity to the chaos. Purpose fuels resilience. When challenges arise, as they inevitably will, it's purpose that keeps you moving forward. It's purpose that whispers, keep going, when the world is telling you to quit. Without it, the first sign of struggle can feel like a reason to give up. But with purpose, struggles become stepping stones. They're not obstacles, they're opportunities to grow stronger, to prove to yourself that you're capable of more than you thought. Purpose isn't something that always comes easily. It's not something you necessarily wake up knowing. Sometimes you have to search for it. You have to try different things, fail, reflect, and try again. But the search is worth it, because once you find your purpose, everything changes. Your energy shifts, your focus sharpens, you stop wasting time on things that don't align with your goals. You stop saying yes to things that don't serve you. Purpose brings clarity. It's like a compass pointing you in the right direction. Even when the path is unclear, even when the destination feels far away, that sense of purpose gives you the confidence to keep moving. It tells you that you're on the right track, even if progress feels slow. It reminds you that every step, no matter how small, is a step closer to where you want to be. When you build with purpose, you're not just building for yourself. You're creating something that can impact others. Well, purpose has a ripple effect. When you're living with intention, it inspires those around you to do the same. It's contagious. People see your passion, your drive, and your commitment, and it motivates them to find their own. Purpose is bigger than personal ambition. It's about contributing to something greater than yourself. It's about leaving a legacy, and legacies aren't built on shortcuts or half-hearted efforts. They're built on dedication, on sacrifice, on a deep understanding of why you do what you do. Purpose demands discipline. It's not always glamorous. There will be days when it feels easier to take the easy route, to cut corners, to settle for less. But purpose doesn't let you. It reminds you of the bigger picture. It pushes you to give your best, even when no one is watching, especially when no one is watching. Because building with purpose isn't about external validation. It's not about applause or recognition. It's about integrity. It's about knowing that you're staying true to your values, your vision, and your goals. When you're driven by purpose, failure doesn't scare you. It doesn't define you. Because you understand that failure is part of the process. It's a teacher, not a verdict. Building with purpose means embracing the setbacks, learning from them, and using them to fuel your next move. It means understanding that progress isn't always linear. Sometimes you take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. But even those steps back have value. They're part of the journey, part of the story. Purpose gives you the patience to see it through. Purpose is personal. No one can define it for you. It's not about what society says you should do or what others expect of you. It's about what matters to you deep down. It's about what sets your soul on fire. It's about the things that make you lose track of time, the things that make you feel alive. And once you find it, once you tap into that purpose, it's like unlocking a new level of existence. Suddenly, everything feels more vibrant, more meaningful, more real. But purpose isn't static. It can evolve. The purpose you have today might not be the same as the purpose you have 10 years from now, and that's okay. What matters is that you stay connected to it, that you keep checking in with yourself, asking yourself if you're still on the right path. Building with purpose requires self-awareness. It requires honesty. It requires the courage to pivot when necessary, because staying true to your purpose doesn't mean stubbornly sticking to a plan that no longer serves you. It means being adaptable, being willing to grow, being open to change. When you build with purpose, you build with intention. You're not just reacting to life, you're shaping it. You're not just going with the flow. You're creating your own current. Purpose gives you the power to take control of your story, to decide what you want your life to stand for, to make choices that align with your values, your dreams, and your vision. It's not always easy. In fact, it's rarely easy, but it's always worth it. Because when you look back on your life, you won't regret the challenges you faced or the sacrifices you made. You'll be proud of what you built, of the impact you had, of the legacy you left behind. Purpose requires passion. It requires commitment. It requires a willingness to do the hard work, even when the rewards aren't immediate. But purpose also brings joy. It brings fulfillment. It brings a sense of peace, knowing that you're living authentically, that you're staying true to yourself. Purpose isn't about perfection. It's about progress. It's about waking up each day and choosing to take one more step toward your vision, no matter how small that step might be. It's about believing in yourself, even when the odds are against you. It's about trusting that the work you're doing matters, even when it's hard to see the results. Building with purpose means embracing the journey, not just the destination. It means finding joy in the process, in the growth, in the lessons learned along the way. It means understanding that success isn't a finish line. It's a way of being. It's about showing up fully every single day and giving your all to the things that matter most to you. Purpose isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. It's what gives life depth and meaning. It's what turns dreams into reality. It's what transforms ordinary moments into extraordinary ones. And it's available to anyone who's willing to look for it, to fight for it, to build with it. Winning by showing up is about more than just being physically present. It's about making the decision day in and day out to show up with intention, effort, and a willingness to engage fully. Showing up is often underestimated, dismissed as a simple act that requires no skill, but in reality, it is one of the most powerful and transformative habits you can develop. The world is full of people who have talent, ambition, and dreams. But what separates those who succeed from those who don't is often the simple fact that the winners kept showing up, even when it was hard, even when no one was watching, and even when it felt like progress was invisible. Showing up is a statement. It's a declaration to yourself and to the world that you are here, that you are committed, and that you are willing to do what it takes. It's easy to dream when things are going well, when the path is clear and when the rewards feel tangible. But when the road gets rough, when obstacles appear, and when doubts creep in, that's when showing up truly matters. It's in those moments that the act of showing up becomes an act of courage. It's about choosing resilience over retreat, action over apathy, and effort over excuses. Winning doesn't come from grand gestures or overnight success. It comes from the consistency of showing up brick by brick, step by step, day after day. There's a certain magic that happens when you show up. Opportunities reveal themselves that you couldn't have seen from the sidelines. Relationships form because people recognize your dedication. Skills develop because you're practicing even when the results aren't immediate. Showing up creates momentum, and momentum is one of the most powerful forces you can harness. Once you start, once you commit, each step forward becomes easier. The hardest part is often getting started, but once you've shown up for the first time, the next time becomes less daunting. The act of showing up builds confidence because it reinforces the belief that you are capable of facing challenges and pushing through resistance. Winning by showing up also means embracing imperfection. Too often people hold themselves back because they're waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect conditions, or the perfect version of themselves. But perfection is an illusion, and waiting for it only leads to stagnation. Showing up means accepting that you might not have all the answers, that you might make mistakes, and that you might not feel ready. It's about valuing progress over perfection and understanding that growth comes from the doing, not the waiting. Every time you show up, you're giving yourself the chance to learn, to improve, and to move closer to your goals. Even when things don't go as planned, the mere act of showing up is a win because it means you're in the arena, trying, learning, and evolving. Showing up isn't always glamorous. It's often mundane, repetitive, and unremarkable. It's waking up early to practice your craft, even when no one is there to applaud. It's staying late to finish the work that no one else wants to do. It's making the extra effort when it feels like no one notices or cares. But these small, consistent actions add up. They create a foundation of discipline, perseverance, and reliability. And over time, they lead to results that might seem impossible to those who haven't put in the same effort. Showing up is about playing the long game, understanding that success is a marathon, not a sprint. It's about trusting the process, even when the rewards feel distant. One of the most powerful aspects of showing up is the way it shapes your identity. Every time you show up, you're reinforcing the narrative about who you are. You're telling yourself that you are someone who takes action, who follows through, and who doesn't back down. This self-perception is crucial because the way you see yourself influences your behavior and decisions. When you identify as someone who shows up, it becomes easier to overcome resistance, to push through doubt, and to stay committed to your goals. It's a self-fulfilling cycle. The more you show up, the more you believe in yourself, and the more you believe in yourself, the more you show up. Showing up also has a ripple effect. When you show up consistently, you inspire others to do the same. Your actions set an example, demonstrating the power of persistence and dedication. People notice when you show up, even when it feels like they don't. Your effort can motivate others to take their own steps forward, creating a culture of accountability and growth. This ripple effect extends beyond your immediate circle, influencing communities and environments in ways you might not even realize. Showing up isn't just about personal success, it's about contributing to something larger than yourself. There will be times when showing up feels thankless, when the work is hard, when the progress is slow, and when the recognition is non-existent. It can be tempting to give up. But those are the moments when showing up matters most, because every time you show up, you're proving to yourself that you can do hard things. You're building resilience, grit, and strength. And those qualities are far more valuable than any external reward. Winning isn't about the accolades, it's about the person you become in the process. And the person who shows up again and again is someone who is unstoppable. Showing up doesn't mean you won't face setbacks or failures. In fact, it guarantees that you will. But it also guarantees that you'll have the chance to overcome them. When you show up, you're giving yourself permission to fail, to learn, and to try again. You're building the resilience to face challenges head on and the humility to grow from them. Failure is only final if you stop showing up. But if you keep showing up, every failure becomes a stepping stone, a lesson, an opportunity to grow stronger. There's a saying that half the battle is just showing up. But the truth is, showing up is often more than half the battle. It's the foundation upon which everything else is built. When you show up, you're putting yourself in a position to succeed. You're creating opportunities that wouldn't exist otherwise. You're opening doors that might have remained closed. And even if you don't win immediately, you're building the habits, skills, and mindset that will lead to success in the long run. Showing up is about playing the odds, understanding that the more you put yourself out there, the greater your chances of achieving something meaningful. Winning by showing up requires trust. Trust in yourself, trust in the process, and trust in the idea that effort pays off, even if the rewards aren't immediate. It's about believing that the work you're doing matters, even when it feels like no one is noticing. It's about having faith that the seeds you're planting today will grow into something incredible, even if you can't see it yet. Trusting the process means letting go of the need for instant gratification and focusing on the bigger picture. It means showing up, not because you're guaranteed success, but because you know that the only way to succeed is to keep trying. Winning by showing up is a mindset. It's a decision to take action, even when it's hard. It's a commitment to keep going, even when the odds are against you. It's a choice to prioritize progress over perfection, effort over excuses, and persistence over procrastination. It's about understanding that success isn't a single event. It's a series of small, consistent actions that add up over time. And every time you show up, you're taking another step toward that success. You're proving to yourself that you have what it takes, that you are capable, and that you are worthy of the goals you've set for yourself. Winning by showing up isn't always easy, but it's always worth it. It's about choosing to be present, to engage, and to give your best effort no matter the circumstances. It's about embracing the journey with all its challenges and rewards and knowing that every step forward is a victory in itself. When you show up, you're doing more than just participating. You're taking ownership of your life, your goals, and your future, and that's how you win. Stop caring about the noise, because the noise is not your truth. The noise is the opinions, judgments, and expectations of others that seek to drown out your inner voice. It's the chatter of a world that's constantly telling you who you should be, what you should do, and how you should live. But none of that noise defines you. None of it truly understands your journey, your dreams, or your unique potential. The moment you stop caring about the noise, you free yourself to focus on what really matters, your path, your purpose, and your growth. Caring about the noise means giving power to things that don't deserve it. It means letting the fear of judgment dictate your choices and allowing the expectations of others to shape your decisions. It's a trap, one that keeps you small, keeps you stuck, and keeps you from living authentically. The truth is, no matter what you do, someone will always have something to say. Someone will always disapprove, criticize, or misunderstand. Trying to please everyone is not only impossible, but it's also a surefire way to lose yourself in the process. When you stop caring about the noise, you take back that power. You stop seeking validation from the outside world and start finding it within yourself. The noise is often loudest when you're on the verge of something great, when you're stepping out of your comfort zone, pursuing your dreams, or challenging the status quo. That's when the critics seem to multiply. That's when the doubts and distractions grow stronger. But that's also when you need to hold your ground. Noise is just that noise. It's not the truth. It's not a reflection of your worth or your potential. It's a distraction designed to test your focus, your resilience, and your commitment. And when you stop caring about it, when you learn to tune it out, you discover a newfound clarity and strength. Stopping caring about the noise doesn't mean you become indifferent or apathetic. It doesn't mean you ignore feedback or shut yourself off from the world. It means you become discerning. You learn to separate constructive criticism from destructive negativity. You listen to voices that lift you up and challenge you to grow, while filtering out those that only seek to tear you down. Not all noise is equal, and part of your growth is learning to recognize the difference. When you stop caring about the noise, you're not rejecting the world, you're simply prioritizing your peace, your focus, and your truth. Noise thrives on insecurity. It feeds on your doubts and magnifies your fears. When you're unsure of yourself, the noise seems louder. But when you cultivate confidence, when you know who you are and what you stand for, the noise loses its power. Confidence isn't about arrogance or perfection. It's about trust. Trusting yourself, trusting your vision, and trusting that you're capable of handling whatever comes your way. Confidence comes from action, from showing up for yourself, and from proving to yourself that you're stronger than you think. The more you build that confidence, the less the noise can affect you. The world is full of distractions, and noise is one of the biggest. It pulls you away from your goals, your passions, and your priorities. It tempts you to compare yourself to others, to measure your worth by someone else's standards, and to chase things that don't truly matter. But when you stop caring about the noise, you reclaim your focus, You stop wasting energy on things that don't serve you and start channeling it into what does. You become more intentional with your time, your energy, and your choices. You start living for yourself, not for the approval of others. Stopping caring about the noise is an act of courage. It's not easy to go against the grain, to stand firm in your convictions, and to follow your own path. It's not easy to let go of the need for approval or to risk being misunderstood, but it's necessary. Because the alternative is to live a life that's not truly yours, a life dictated by the expectations and opinions of others. And that's no life at all. When you stop caring about the noise, you give yourself permission to be free. Free to explore, to create, to take risks, and to make mistakes. Free to live authentically, boldly, and unapologetically. The noise will always be there. It's a constant in a world that's full of opinions, distractions, and pressures. But you don't have to let it control you. You don't have to let it dictate your choices or define your worth. You have the power to tune it out, to rise above it, and to stay true to yourself. It's a choice you make every day, in every moment. And the more you make that choice, the easier it becomes. The more you focus on your own path, the less the noise matters. The more you trust yourself, the less you need validation from others. And the more you stay true to your values, the more fulfilled and purposeful your life becomes. Stopping caring about the noise doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, one that requires self-awareness, discipline, and practice. It's about recognizing when you're being influenced by the noise and choosing to redirect your focus. It's about building habits that ground you, protect your peace, and strengthen your resilience. And it's about surrounding yourself with people who support you, encourage you, and remind you of your worth. The journey to silence the noise is not always easy, but it's always worth it. Because on the other side of that noise is freedom, freedom to be yourself, to follow your dreams, and to live a life that's true to you. When you stop caring about the noise, you discover a sense of peace and clarity that's hard to find in a world that's always demanding more. You realize that you don't need to prove yourself to anyone, that your worth isn't tied to other people's opinions, and that your happiness comes from within. You stop chasing approval and start chasing purpose. You stop comparing yourself to others and start focusing on your own journey. And in doing so, you find a strength and confidence that no amount of noise can shake. You become unstoppable, not because the noise disappears, but because it no longer has power over you. Embrace imperfection, because it is through imperfection that we find authenticity, growth, and connection. The pursuit of perfection is often an illusion, a moving target that keeps us chasing an ideal that does not exist. When you strive for perfection, you set yourself up for frustration, disappointment, and a sense of inadequacy. But when you embrace imperfection, you allow yourself to be human, to make mistakes, and to learn from them. You give yourself permission to show up as you are, not as who you think you should be. And in doing so, you open the door to genuine self-acceptance and inner peace. Imperfection is not a flaw, it's a feature of being human. We live in a world that often celebrates the polished, the flawless, and the idealized. Social media, advertising, and cultural expectations bombard us with images of perfection, making us believe that anything less is unacceptable. But the reality is life is messy, unpredictable, and full of imperfections. No one has it all figured out, and no one is immune to mistakes, setbacks, or flaws. When you embrace imperfection, you stop comparing yourself to unrealistic standards and start appreciating the beauty of your own unique journey. Embracing imperfection is an act of courage. It takes strength to admit that you don't have all the answers, that you're not perfect, and that you're still a work in progress. But this vulnerability is also what makes you relatable and real. People are drawn to authenticity, not perfection. When you let go of the need to appear flawless, you create space for deeper connections with others. You show them that it's okay to be themselves, to struggle, and to grow. Embracing imperfection isn't just liberating for you, it's an invitation for others to do the same. Imperfection is where growth happens. If everything in life were perfect, there would be no challenges, no opportunities to learn, and no reason to strive for better. It's through mistakes and failures that we gain wisdom, resilience, and strength. Every imperfection is a lesson, a chance to improve, and a stepping stone toward greater understanding. When you embrace imperfection, you shift your mindset from one of fear to one of curiosity. Instead of avoiding mistakes, you start to see them as valuable experiences. Instead of fearing failure, you begin to embrace it as a necessary part of the journey. Perfectionism can be paralyzing. When you're obsessed with getting everything right, you're less likely to take risks, try new things, or step out of your comfort zone. The fear of failure or judgment can hold you back from pursuing your dreams and reaching your potential. But when you embrace imperfection, you free yourself from this self-imposed limitation. You start to realize that it's better to take imperfect action than to wait for the perfect moment, which may never come. Progress, not perfection, is what leads to success. Embracing imperfection also means being kind to yourself. It means letting go of self-criticism and practicing self-compassion. When you make a mistake, instead of beating yourself up, you acknowledge it, learn from it, and move on. You treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend. Self-compassion is not about making excuses or settling for less. It's about recognizing your inherent worth and treating yourself with respect, regardless of your flaws. When you embrace imperfection, you begin to see yourself as whole and worthy just as you are. Imperfection is a source of creativity and innovation. Some of the greatest discoveries, inventions, and works of art have come from mistakes or imperfections. When you let go of the need to get everything right, you open yourself up to new possibilities and ideas. You allow yourself to experiment, to take risks, and to think outside the box. Creativity thrives in a space where perfectionism takes a back seat. By embracing imperfection, you give yourself the freedom to explore, to play, and to create without the pressure of unrealistic expectations. Life itself is imperfect. Nature is full of irregularities, asymmetry, and unpredictability, yet it is breathtakingly beautiful. The same is true for you in your life. Your imperfections make you unique, and your struggles make you strong. When you embrace imperfection, you align yourself with the natural flow of life, accepting its ups and downs, its joys and sorrows, and its moments of uncertainty. This acceptance brings a sense of peace and balance, allowing you to appreciate life for what it is rather than what you think it should be. Embracing imperfection is not about settling or giving up on improvement. It's about shifting your focus from unattainable ideals to realistic goals. It's about striving for excellence, not perfection, and understanding that excellence includes making mistakes along the way. It's about being committed to growth while also being patient with yourself. When you embrace imperfection, you don't lower your standards. You simply redefine success in a way that is healthier, more attainable, and more aligned with your values. The journey to embracing imperfection starts with awareness. It begins with recognizing the ways in which perfectionism shows up in your life, the unrealistic expectations, the fear of failure, and the constant self-criticism. Once you're aware of these patterns, you can begin to challenge them. You can start by setting more realistic expectations for yourself, celebrating your progress instead of fixating on your flaws, and reminding yourself that no one is perfect. It's a practice, one that requires patience and persistence, but it's a practice that can transform your life. When you embrace imperfection, you open yourself up to joy. You stop waiting for everything to be perfect before you allow yourself to be happy. You realize that happiness is found in the messy, imperfect moments of life, the laughter, the connections, and the simple pleasures. You learn to appreciate the beauty in the imperfections, to find gratitude in the challenges, and to see the value in the journey, not just the destination. Embracing imperfection is about living fully, embracing all of life's imperfections, and finding the courage to be yourself.